and welcome to the Cornerstone Community Center. We'll be dropping the puck here shortly on the varsity matchup between the Notre Dame Tritons and the Eau Claire North Huskies. We got Brennan Gruber starting things up here for the Tritons. Moves it over to Remister. Remister enters his zone. Sent back into the corner by Voss. Sent over to the wall, picked up by McEntee. And picked up by Sutter. Sutter moves to his zone. Shoots saved by Roberts. Puck loose, pass up to Voss. Voss moving out of the zone. Pass over to Remister. Remister gets a shot away, glove save. Face off here for Brendan Polchak. Sent off the wall by Thompson. Picked up by Polchak. Polchak tries making a move, can't get past. Sent up to the point for McNeil. McNeil loses it and dumped into the zone by Bestel. Played out by Roberts. Sent back into the zone by Plant. Pass up from Dahl up to Bunninger. Bunninger tips it in. Picked up by McEntee. McEntee sends it off the wall. Picked up on the wall by Kazar. Kazar tries getting it out. Up to the point. Shot out of bounds. Shot from Brayton Tillman. Oh, it's tipped. Yeah, face off here for Brendan Gruber. We're fighting for it over here. And looks like we'll have a delayed penalty call on the Huskies for slashing. Penalty would be on number 10, Tyler Gurall. Have a 2-minute Triton power play. An offensive zone face off here for Gruber. Start off his power play. That was a rebound goal for Gruber. Let's make it 1-0 Tritons. Brendan Gruber starting things up again. Center ice. Dumped in by Remy. So it looks like it'll be a delayed offside. Taken in the zone by Bestel. Fight forward in the corner, picked up by Voss. Back to the point, dumped back into the zone. like they'll credit the assists for Hunter Bill and Callan Bunninger on the goal from Gruber. Looks like we'll have a tripping penalty on Isaac Rentmeester. Sort of a 2-minute penalty kill for the Tritons. The faceoff went back to Pokel, sent off the wall to Kazarek. Sark tries to get it up to Buttinger, just missed. Puck sells in the zone. Buttinger wins the race. They can't recover it. Book's trying to break it out. Tries to get it over to Thorpe and dumped back in by Buttinger. Picked up by Books behind the net, trying to break it out. Cross ice pass over to Thorpe. Thorpe dumps it in. Puck sails out of his zone. Pass it over to Tillman. Tillman tries to elevate it in, recovered by Polchak. Polchak taken out of the defensive zone. Passes it over to Bill, intercepted. And recovered by Sutter. Sutter shoots. Save. And 1:02 left in this power play. Gruber with the faceoff. Or penalty kill, excuse me. Over the point, pass over to Thompson. Back to sent out of the zone by Gruber. Gruber putting pressure on, tries to recover. Battling for it on the wall. Sent out the wall. Just this pass to the middle. Shot wide from the point. Sutter sends back up to the point for Thompson. Thompson back over to Okervik. Okervik shoots, save. Picked up by Giroux. Up to the point, shoots. Goal. It'll be a power play goal for the Huskies. For number 5, Sam Feck. To make it 1-1. Two quick goals to start off this game. 12:27 left in the first period. Back to McEntee regrouping in the neutral zone. Intercepted and dumped in by Vestal. Curved by Pokel, passed over to McEntee. McEntee trying to make some moves back over to Pokel. Up to Polchak. Polchak moving in, or Bill moving in the offensive zone, excuse me. That's the point for Pokel. Pokel sends it back over to Buttinger. Buttinger back to McEntee at the point. Back to Buttinger. Buttinger shoots wide. Back to Bill in the corner. Bill tries to get it back to Polchak. Sends it back to the point for Pokel. Pokel dumps it back into Bill. Bill back to Polchak. Polchak shoots wide. Battling for it on the wall now. Recovered by Rentmeester. Sends it back into the zone. Punt with it behind the net. Passes it up to Vestal. Vestal's cross-ice pass intercepted by McNeil. McNeil enters the zone. Loses the puck. So he could have been tripped on that play. No penalty call. Went for it in the corner. Intercepted by Voss. Voss went in the corner trying to get something going. Breakout pass over to Gruber. Gruber enters the offensive zone. Back to the point for Rentmeester. Rentmeester shoots, save. We got a rebound, puck still loose. And covered by Bach. 10:57 left in the first period. 6-11 offensive zone face-off here for Eberhardt. Vogel tries to recover it. Shot wide by Tillman. Still battling for it. Ball behind the net by Eberhardt. Eberhardt up to Gervitz. Gervitz tries to get up to McEntee, just missed pass. Recovered by Coughlin. Coughlin trips, and the net comes off. Have an offensive zone face-off here for Polshak. Back up to the point for Mirchavetsky, or McNeil, excuse me. And dumped back in by Buttinger. It's recovered by Feck, sent up, and intercepted by Buttinger. Pressure on by Polshak. And recovered by McNeil in the defensive zone. Pass it off the wall to Buttinger. Puck sails out of the zone. Wheat sends it off the wall. Pass it back over to McNeil. McNeil off the wall tries to get over to Rentmeester. Doesn't go. Feck passes it over. He passed from Thompson up. He dumped it in the zone. Picked up by Mirchavetsky off the wall to Rentmeester. Rentmeester back and pass over to McEntee. McEntee passes it over to Voss. Voss off the wall to Gruber. Eau Claire North regains possession. Pass it over. Picked up by Bestel. Bestel dumps it in. Recovered by Mirchavetsky. Mirchavetsky up to Rentmeester. Rentmeester cross ice over to Voss. Voss still with possession entering the offensive zone. Shot, save, and covered by Bach. We have 8:39 left in the first period here. Looks like we'll have a face-off here for Eberhardt. Face-off lost back. They're battling forward in the corner. Back up to the point for McNeil. McNeil shoots. That was tipped. And goal. Looks like it was a shot by McNeil and a tip by Eberhardt for the goal to make it 2-1. Eberhardt's second goal of the season. Face-off win back for Polshak back to McEntee. McEntee sends it over to Polshak. Polshak still with possession, dumps into the zone. Tries to get to the center. Buttinger's there. Can't go. Kept in the zone by Pokel and dumped in by Bill. Sent onto the wall, picked up by Buttinger up to the point for McEntee. McEntee shoots, saved. Or blocked, excuse me. Looks like they'll call high sticking there. For a face-off in the defensive zone. Have a face-off here for Joseph Coughlin. Send back to the point for Thompson. Thompson sends it back into the corner. Recovered by McNeil. Passes up to Gervitz. Gervitz enters the zone. Tries to get something going. Looks like he was tripped, and they will get him for that. They'll get him for a hooking call.
Makes it a Notre Dame, the new Toyota power play.
Penalty for the Huskies is on number 11, Ty Thompson. An offensive zone face-off here for Calvin Buttinger to start off this power play. Wins it back to the point for Bill. Bill sends it down on the wall for McEntee. McEntee up to Potrak at the point. Potrak over to Bill, back to Potrak. Potrak over to Gruber. Gruber shoots, top shelf scores. Power play goal for the Tritons just 14 seconds in to make it 3-1. Gruber getting things going again. Face-off loss back to Eau Claire. Brooks passes it over to Thorpe. Thorpe moving through the neutral zone and dumps it in. Picked up by McEntee. McEntee off the wall. They're fighting for it by the net. And they'll be covered by Roberts. Have a defensive zone face-off here for Brennan Gruber once again. Back to the point. Over to Books. Books shoots. Score. Shot from the point for Robert Books to make it 3-2. Very high scoring first period today. 5 goals on just 12 shots. Dawson's high off the glass and dumped back in by Giroux. Picked up by McNeil. McNeil backhand off the wall. To be picked up by Buttinger. Fighting for it, recovered by Eau Claire. Shot wide. Pass up to Bill. Bill tries to get over to Buttinger, just missed pass, dumps into the zone. Bill to Potrak. Potrak shoots wide. Up to Dahl, and then recovered by Beck. Beck up to Sutter. Sutter tried to get something going, stopped by McEntee. Back off the wall to Ockervik, and then back over to Bill. Bill moving out of the defensive zone, pass it over to McEntee. McEntee sends it off the wall. Back to Bestel. Fighting for it on the wall. And dumped in. Covered by Roberts. Roberts over to McEntee. McEntee up to Eberhardt. Eberhardt tries to get over to Gervitz. Back up the wall to Gervitz. Gervitz hit again. Picked up by Books. Books over to Pascal. And up to Bestel, and Bestel dumps it in. To be recovered by Pokel. Pokel backhand up to Zarek. Zarek just misses it, and then dumped in again by Kine. Picked up by Kazarek. Kazarek passes over to Gervitz. Gervitz dumps into the zone for a change. Some confusion going on with the Huskies breakout and dump back in by Everhart. Huskies now breaking out, sends it off the wall at a one-on-one race. Still fighting for it, but recovered by Voss. Voss still with possession, sends it off the wall to the other side. Voss passes it off the wall. Recovered by Voss. Voss off the wall to Gruber. Gruber tries to pass it over. Get to the Rentmeester, and Rentmeester dumps it in. It's like there will be two penalties on the play. One for Tyler Giroux of the Huskies and Isaac Rentmeester of the Tritons. It's like it'll be 5-on-5. Back up to the point for Pokel. Pokel over to McEntee. McEntee trying to keep it in and dribbles out of the zone. Covered by Pokel in the corner. Pull over the middle to Pochak. Pochak up to Buttinger. Buttinger and Bill entering the zone, and they'll call that offside. 3:38 left in the first period. The neutral zone face-off here for Everhart. Everhart loses it back. They'll get Isaac Rentmeester for roughing and Tyler Giroux for holding. Face-off win back to McNeil. McNeil bumps it in. Fighting for it in the wall. Taking out pass over to Beck. Beck breakout pass over to Thompson. Thompson makes a move, can't get past it all. Taking out of the zone, pass over to Gervitz. Gervitz fumbling it and sends back into the defensive zone. Roberts plays it over to McNeil. McNeil tries to get up to Gervitz, just this pass, intercepted by Pascal. Everhart over to Coughlin. Coughlin tries to make a move. Fighting for it in the corner. Comes back in. Picked up by Poltrak in the defensive zone, taking it behind the net. Makes a move. Moving past defenders. Enters the zone. Still with possession. Tries to get back to Buttinger. Intercepted. Dump back in. Recovered by Buttinger. Buttinger to the middle. Tries to get it to Bill. Taken out of the zone by Sutter. Sutter enters the offensive zone on a one-on-one with Pokel shoots save. Have a defensive zone face-off here for Gruber. Picked up by Voss in the defensive zone. Voss taking it out of the zone. Tries to get past the defender, but intercepted and dumped back in. Picked up by Gruber. Gruber sends it off the wall to McEntee. McEntee up to Voss and dumped back in. So we'll call that offside. A neutral zone face-off here for Eberhardt. Eberhardt wins it back to Weed. Weed over to McNeil. McNeil loses it. Back into the corner. Fighting for it. Sent back up to the point. Shoots. Knocked away by Roberts. Sent out of the zone by Eberhardt. Eberhardt hit on the play. And sent back into the zone by the Huskies. Knocked away by Roberts. Pinned by Weed and picked up by McNeil. Sent over to Kazarek. Kazarek tries to get it over to Gerbitz. And sent back to McNeil. Back in the neutral zone for Thorpe. Trying to regroup. Pass it up to Akravic. Akravic tries to make it a move. And recovered up to Giroux. Giroux over to Akravic. Akravic entering the zone. Pass it over, shot, save. Net came off on that. That'll be no goal. Yeah, 18.7 seconds left in the first period. As the referee realigns the net. They face off here for Polchak. Come back in the zone for Sutter. Sent over to Bill. Bill moving out of the defensive zone. Tries to get it over to Buttinger, and he does. Sent up the wall by Pokel over to Buttinger. Buttinger with it, and that will be the end of the first period. Shots for the first period are 6 for the Tritons and 9 for the Huskies. 3 saves for Tristan Bach and 7 saves for Xander Roberts. Welcome back to Cornerstone Community Center. We'll be dropping the puck here shortly on the second period. We'll have Brennan Polchak starting things off for us at center ice. Puck sails back in the defensive zone, picked up by Polchak off the wall. Picked up by Polchak, sent over to Buttinger. Buttinger enters the zone over to Polchak. Polchak back end shoots, save. Up to the point for Pokel. Pokel shoots wide. Picked up by Buttinger in the corner, up to the point for McEntee. McEntee dumps it back in to Bill. Bill's on the Polchak. Polchak sends it up to Pokel. Pokel shoots. Glove save. Have an offensive zone faceoff here for Brennan Gruber. Gruber wins it back to McNeil. McNeil at the point, passes it down into the corner. Covered by Feck. Feck sends it over to Vestal. Take it to the neutral zone. Back end dumped it in by Vestal. Steele tried to get it out of the zone. Pick up McNeil over to Remeister. Remeister up to Voss. Voss enters the offensive zone. Gruber back to Voss. Fighting for it on the wall. Back to Dahl at the point. McAtee shot blocked. Picked up by Remeister. Remeister tried to get over to Gruber at the center, but intercepted by Feck. He gets dumped in for the icing. Have an offensive zone faceoff here for Bryce Everhart. Faceoff win for the Huskies back to Pascal. Passes off the wall, tried into the zone. Intercepted by McEntee. Sent out of the zone by Kazarek. Missed pass to Gerbitz. Gerbitz putting pressure on in the offensive zone. Pass over to Collar. Picked up by Kazarek. Start trying to move out, but picked up again by Collar. Collar off the wall over to Pascal. Sends it up to the point. Just tipped away by McEntee. And sent back into the zone for an offsides call. Neutral zone faceoff here for Polchak. Polchak wins it back into the zone. Tipped away by Roberts. Picked up by McNeil. McNeil passes up to Polchak. Enters the zone. Dahl picks it up. Dahl shoots right off the pipe. Pass over to Buttinger and then gets dumped back in. Recovered by Dahl in the defensive zone. Passes it along the wall. Sits it back into the point for Books. Over to Thorpe. Thorpe shoots. and just tipped in. That was a tip and goal for Caden Sutter. From the shot by Sam Thorpe. Let's make it 3-3. A face off here for Gruber to start things back up. Gruber wins it back to Pokel. Pokel over to McEntee. McEntee off the wall, intercepted by Sutter. Or Ackerman, excuse me. Tipped over to Voss. Voss taken out of the zone. Pass it over to Gruber. Gruber enters the zone on an odd man rush. Back to Voss. Voss over to Gruber just this pass. Taken out of the zone by Books. Books over intercepted pass by Pokel and then dumped in by Sutter. McEntee passes up to Remeister. Remeister enters the zone on a 1-on-2. Makes a move, shots, and just say it. Good hit by Gruber and dumped back in by McEntee. Picked up and taken out of the zone by Feck. Feck tries to pass it, intercepted by McNeil. Puck sent back into the zone to be recovered by McEntee. McEntee gets hit, puck gets loose. Picked up by McNeil. McNeil up to Voss for the breakout pass. And Voss dumps it in to be covered by Bach. 13 minutes left in the second period. Got a face off here for Bryce Eberhardt. Wins it back to McNeil at the point. McNeil down to Gervitz. Gervitz dumps it back in. Puck sails back out to McNeil. Sent back in to be recovered by Bryce Dahl. Fighting for it on the wall. Taken all by Dahl. Passed over to McNeil. McNeil breakout pass over to Gervitz. Gervitz off the wall. Gervitz regains possession. Tries dumping it in. Pass it up to Bestel, and Bestel dumps it in. McEntee pass up to Coughlin. Off the wall to McEntee. McEntee moving in the offensive zone. McEntee making it behind the net. Off the wall to Tillman, and then tipped away. Pokel sends it off the wall. Picked up by Thorpe. Thorpe passes it over to Books. Books off the wall to Thompson. Sends it into the zone. Jose. Shot by Jack Kine to make it 4-3. Here we're getting things started once again from center ice. Face-off win back to Weed. Weed passes it up to Rentmeester, and Rentmeester dumps it in. Guerrero going to recover it, picked up by Gruber. Intercepted and taken out of the zone. Picked up by McNeil, moving through the neutral zone. McNeil kick out to Gruber. Gruber making moves and gets intercepted by Book. Book sends it off the wall. Gets it up to Akravic. Akravic tries to make a move and saved by Roberts. No, blow the whistle. The net came off. Have a face-off here for Everhart. Everhart wins it back into the corner. Picked up by Everhart again from Pokel. McEntee up to Kazar. Kazar gets it intercepted. Fighting forward, ends up back in the hands of McEntee. McEntee tries dumping it in, and he does. Picked up by Feck in the defensive zone. Knocked off the wall up to Bestel. A tie off the glass. Picked up by Bill on a 2-on-1 with Everhart. Back to Everhart and can't get a shot away. Sends it off the wall, and they'll call that icing. 10:03 left in the second period. Have an offensive zone face-off here for Brendan Polshak. Face-off win for the Huskies. Trying to break out. McNeil keeps it in the zone. Makes a couple moves. Can't get past. Covered by Buttinger at the point and dumps it back in. Picked up by Polshak. Back to the point for McNeil. McNeil shoots, is blocked. Picked up by Polshak in the offensive zone. They're fighting for it on the wall. Back to the corner. Over to the center, shot for Polshak and save. Have an offensive zone face-off here for Brendan Gerber. One on McEntee as he tries to recover. Picked up by Gerber. Center on the wall to Boss. Boss with possession, taking it behind the net. Pass it up to McEntee. McEntee off the wall, picked up by Gerber. Gerber enters his zone. Still possession in the corner. Sends it back over to Rentmeester. Rentmeester can't maintain possession. And Books takes it out of the zone, passes it up to Akrovic. Akrovic moving to the offensive zone. Shoot, save. Dump back in by Akrovic. Recovered by McEntee. Pass up to Everhart. Sent back in by Bell. Dumped into the zone by McEntee for a change. And North breaks it out. Dumped back in by Pokel. No icing. They will call that icing on the Huskies. Having offensive zone face-off here for Bryce Everhart. Kept in the zone by McNeil. And pressure on by Everhart. Dahl dumps it back in. Picked up by Plant. Plant trying to move it out of the zone. Kept in the zone by Dahl, and then picked up by Gervitz. Gervitz tried to send it to the middle, saved. They're battling for it on the wall. recovered and passed over to Vestal. Dumped back in by Gervitz. Pass back in, recovered by Polshak. Polshak passed it over to McNeil. McNeil shoots, saved, and covered by Bach. Seven minutes left in the second period. Yeah, face off here for Brendan Polshak. They'll redo that one. Back to the point for Mirzhaveski over to McEntee. McEntee takes it back in. Picked up by Polshak. Polshak can't get it away, dribbles out of the zone. Picked up by McEntee in the defensive zone, tries to get it up to Bill. Picked up by Bunninger. Bunninger sends it off the wall over to Polshak. Pushing up to the plate for Mirzhaveski. Mirzhaveski shoots, saved. Polshak sends it up to the point for McEntee. McEntee shoots, that was tipped by Tillman. There's some rebounds up in front of the net. Bill still with possession. Up to the point for McEntee. McEntee up to Mirzhaveski. He dumps it in. Picked up and sent out of the zone by Thompson. And recovered by Mirzhaveski. Up to Voss. Voss tips it and dumps it in. And knocked out of the zone by Giroux. And Books dumps it in. Played by Roberts over to Mirzhaveski. Sends it up to Gruber. Rentmeester over to McNeil. McNeil makes a move, shoots, save. We're battling for it in the corner. Gruber comes out with it, trying to get something going. Pass along the wall to Rentmeester, back to the middle. Can't get anything going. Covered by Weed in the defensive zone. Weed sends it way up the ice to Voss. Sent back in for an icing. We have a face-off here for Joseph Coughlin. Got a scrum on the dot here, picked up by Pizarnik. Picked up and taken out of the zone by Plant. Sent in, no icing. Sent up to the point. Shot blocked by Gervitz. Gervitz moves to a breakaway. Gervitz on a breakaway. Shoots, save. And recovered by Vestal. And taken out by Coughlin. McEntee tries to get it up to Kazarik. Intercepted pass. No, call that icing. with Brendan Polchak taking the face off in the offensive zone. Shot by Bunninger, save. Up to the point for Pokel. Pokel misses the pass. Sent back in. Pokel recovers. Puts it back over to Dahl. Up the wall to Bill. Bill moves in the offensive zone. Tries to get over to Polchak. Tip pass. Polchak moving at the point, shoots. That was blocked. Taking out the zone off the wall. Missed pass to Tillman. Dumped in, recovered by Polchak. Polchak passes it up to Bill. Bill over to Polchak. Polchak enters the offensive zone. They'll call that icing. Or offsides, excuse me. .253 left in the second period. Got a face-off here for Gruber. Taken in the offensive zone by Nick Voss. Voss shoots, save. Up to the point for Dahl, or Weed, excuse me. Dumped in by Rentmeester. Battling forward in the corner. Taken out by Sam Thorpe. Thorpe moving out, tries to pass to Okervik. Gets sent into the zone. We pass up to Voss. Voss's blocked pass. Moving through neutral zone to Okervik. Kick out to Thorpe, and they'll call that offside. We have neutral zone face-off here for Joseph Coughlin. Tip pass is recovered in the corner by Pokel. Pokel passes it over to McEntee. Pass up to Coughlin. Coughlin moves in the neutral zone. Moving down the left side. Sent back out to Pokel in the neutral zone. Pokel tries to send it intercepted by Plant. Moving through neutral zone back to the center. Everhart tries to get it up to Pokel, and Pokel just missed pass. No icing. Sent up to the point for McEntee. Thompson dumps it in, no icing. Recovered by McEntee. McEntee tries to send it up, intercepted by Thompson. McNeil over to McEntee. McEntee up to Bill. Bill gets hit. That was a breakaway for Polchak after all the chaos. Saved. Back to the middle for Buttinger. Buttinger shoots saved. Puck still loose. And knocked away by Kine. Shot for Polchak off the pipe. Sent out of the zone. Thompson. Thompson sends it out. And they'll call that icing with 6 seconds left. A face-off here for Brennan Gruber. sent out of the zone, and that will run out the time on the second period. Total shots so far are 15 for the Tridents and 14 for the Huskies. Welcome back to Cornerstone Community Center. We'll be dropping the puck on the third period here shortly. If you're just joining us, we have a 4-3 game led by the Eau Claire North Huskies.
Notre Dame Hockey would like to thank its sponsors, Mac Dental, Subway, Lemieux Toyota, and Mayflower Greenhouse.
Buttinger taking it in the zone, moving up the side. Got Poltrak in the middle. Shoot, scores! What a way to start the period for the Tritons. Just 9 seconds in, Buttinger comes in and does it himself. To make it 4-4. Must have been something going on in that locker room. There's a spark with this team now. Face off win back to McEntee. Over to Pokel. Pokel sends it up to Bill. Bill tips it in. Puck's moving out of the zone. Pass it over to Sutter. Sutter tapped it in. Taken onto the zone by McEntee. McEntee still with possession in the offensive zone. Sends it out of bounds. Face off here for Gruber. Gruber wins it back to Dahl. Dahl dumps it in. So now to McNeil, regrouping over to Rentmeester. Back to Bestel. Covered by Rentmeester. Dumped in by Sack. Roberts plays it over to Dahl. Up to Voss. Intercepted pass by Bestel. Picked up again by Voss. Voss moving to the neutral zone. Cut back. Tries to get over to Rentmeester. Dumps it in. Covered by Speck. Speck sends it off the glass back to Voss. Voss sends it cross ice over to Dahl. Dahl dumps it in. Fighting for it on the wall. Taken out by Eau Claire North and dumped in by Tillman. Played over to Pokel, back to Dahl, or McEntee, excuse me. Looks like there will be a penalty on number 8, Travis Pokel. We'll have a penalty kill. Starting off this penalty kill, we got Colin Buttinger taking the face off. Picked up by Kazarek. Kazarek tries to regain possession, sending it out of the zone. Tipped out by Buddingham. Covered in the offensive zone by Books. Books sends it over to Thorpe. Thorpe dumps it in. Sent back over to Dahl. Dahl moves to the defensive zone and dumps it in. Played out by Bach to Books. Over to Thorpe. Back to Books. Up to Akravic. Dump back in. 1:10 left on the penalty kill. Dumped in the zone by Akravic. Picked up by Eberhardt. Blocked by Akravic. Then sent out of the zone by McEntee. Picked up by Thompson. Thompson passes it over to Beck. Beck dumps it in. Tries trying to break it out. They're battling for it in the corner. It's sent out of the zone by Buttinger. Or Polchak, excuse me. Picked up by Thompson in the defensive zone. Pass it over to Beck. Beck trips. Picked up by Polchak. Polchak on a breakaway, shoots right off the pipe. Missed pass over to Kine. And save. 13:07 left in the third period. 11 seconds left on the penalty kill. A face off here for Brendan Gruber. Gruber wins it back into the corner, picked up by McEntee. Should be on the net. McKeel's fighting for it and sends it out of the zone. Both teams full strength now. Remister putting pressure on it. Gets tripped, but no call. Lost with possession. Tries to get it up to Gruber. Just missed pass. Sent out of the zone by Books. Covered in their defensive zone by Pascal. Pascal up to Plant. And recovered by McEntee. McEntee up to Rentmeester. Over off the wall to Gruber. Gruber taking it behind the net. Up to McEntee. McEntee getting double coverage on here. Picked up by Gruber. Looks like there will be a slashing penalty on the play on Michael McEntee for another penalty kill. A face-off here to start off this penalty kill for Buttinger. So they will redo it. Get a scrum on the dot. Just missed out by Buttinger. Sent out of the zone by Kazar. Heard by Bach. Picked up by Books over to Thorpe. Back to Books. Books up to Akravic. And sent out of the zone. Battling for it on the wall. Picked up by Buttinger. Back to Weed. And Weed dumps it in. Picked up by Thorpe behind the net. Trying to get a breakout going. Thorpe enters the offensive zone. Puck it sends around the net. Battling for it on the wall. Sent in by Pokel. Got a minute left in this penalty kill. Played out by Bach. Sent back over to Dahl. Dahl flips into the zone. Kine sends it off the wall, and that'll be an icing. 10:33 left in the third period. 34 seconds left in the penalty kill. Face off here for Brendan Poshak. Face off lost back. North breaking it out. Thompson sends it into the zone. No icing. Picked up by McNeil. McNeil off the wall to Dahl. Dahl sends it off the wall into the offensive zone. Picked up by Bill. Bill up to the point and just missed pass to Dahl. That will just about expire the penalty kill. Shot saved by Roberts and out of bounds. Have a defensive zone faceoff here for Brennan Gruber. Gruber wins it back to McEntee. McEntee sends it over to Pokel. Pokel just missed it and picked up by Voss. Voss makes a move, drops it back to Pokel. Over to McEntee. McEntee sends it up to Rentmeester. Rentmeester sends it off the wall and into the zone. A one-on-one battle here. Puck sails up and recovered by North. North moves to the defensive zone, or neutral zone, excuse me. Pass back to Pokel. Pokel sends it up to Gruber. Gruber moving out of the defensive zone. Tries to get over to Rentmeester. Picked up by Rentmeester in the offensive zone. Trying to get something going. Pass to McNeil at the point. McNeil shoots wide. Battling for it on the wall. Picked up by Gervitz. Gervitz shoots wide. Gervitz putting pressure on. Picked up by McNeil at the point. McNeil gets it over to Coughlin. Coughlin back to Dahl at the point. Dahl dumps it back into the zone. Back to Coughlin at the point, makes a move. Drop pass to Gervitz back up to Dahl at the point. And sent out of the zone for an icing. At 8:14 left in the third period. Got a face off here for Poshak. Poshak wins it back to Pokel. Sails out of the zone. Pokel recovers it in the defensive zone. Tries to get it over to McEntee. Fast block. Battling forward, taken out by Pokel. Pokel sends it up to Bill. Bill up to Poshak. Poshak puck stripped away and then sent into the offensive zone for an icing call. I have an offensive zone face-off here for Brendan Gruber. Gruber wins it back to Dahl at the point. Dahl dumps it in. Battling for it on the wall. Voss trying to get it back into the zone. Dumps it back in. pass to the center for Rentmeester. Rentmeester shoots, save. Picked up by Eau Claire. Sent out of the zone into the defensive zone. Picked up by McNeil. Cross ice pass over to Rentmeester. Sent back out by Eau Claire. Picked up again by McNeil in the neutral zone. Enters the offensive zone, passes it off the wall to himself. And that'll be icing. 6:55 left in the third period. Got a face off here for Eberhardt. Picked up by Vestal. Vestal gets it stripped away by McAtee. McAtee dumps it in. Picked up by Thorpe. Thorpe sends it off the wall, trying to break it out. Intercepted by Gervitz. Then sent out again. Picked up by McAtee in the neutral zone. McAtee up to Kazarek. Kazarek moves in the offensive zone, trying to gain possession. Thorpe sends it out of the zone, and they'll call that icing. Have an offensive zone face-off here for Poshak. Strum in the corner, picked up by Bill, knocked out. Dumped back in by Bunninger. Picked up by Thorpe. Thorpe flips it out. Just missed for Akrovic, and they'll call it icing.
Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Mac Dental, Mayflower Greenhouse, Lemieux Toyota, and Subway.
Back to the point for McEntee. He dumps it back into the zone. Picked up by Gruber. Gruber sends back to the point for McEntee. Dumps back into Gruber. Moving in the offensive zone is Caden Sutter. Sutter shoots. Oh, it's tipped and out of bounds. .531 left in the third period. Gotten defensive zone face-off here for Poshak. Back to the point, shoots. Blocked by Pokel. Taken out of the zone. Poshak enters the zone. Or Bill, excuse me. Knocked off the wall. Taken out of the zone by Thompson. Down for it on the wall. Taken back in the zone on 2-on-1. Poshak and Buttinger. Shoots, scores! It's a goal for Brendan Poshak to make it 5-4. Regain the lead. Everhart, center ice, getting things going again. Back to McNeil. Goes with possession. Dumped back in by Vestal. Ball off the wall to McNeil, back over to Eberhardt. Brought through the neutral zone by Kazarik. Battling forward in the corner. Sent out of the zone by Thorpe for icing. We have 4:03 left in the third period. Face off here for Brendan Gruber. Gruber wins it back to McEntee at the point. McEntee dumps it into Voss. Battling for it on the wall. Taken out by Sutter. Looks like there will be a tripping call on Tyler Durrell of the Huskies for a Triton power play. A face off here for Callan Buttinger. They will kick him out and have Gruber take the face off instead. Be a penalty on Brendan Gruber for holding. Be 4-on-4 for the next few minutes. Picked up by Poshak. Poshak moving out of the zone, beats the defender. Soft pass out to Bill. Bill shoots wide. Polk regrouping in the neutral zone. Sent back into the zone to be picked up by McEntee. Looks like that will be an interference call on Travis Polk. Have a 4-on-3 for a little while. Timeout called by the Huskies.
I'd like to once again thank our sponsors. Tonight's feature sponsors, Lemieux Toyota, Mayflower Greenhouse, Mac Dental, and Subway. Thank you.
Have a defensive zone face-off here to start this 3-on-4 penalty kill for Buttinger. Got scrum on the dot. Taken out by McNeil. McNeil sends it up the wall to the point, dribbles out of the zone. Buttinger putting pressure on. Can't quite get possession, but got it into the zone. Taken out of the zone by Thorpe. Sent up to Okervik. Okervik shoots, saved, and the net came off. Have a defensive zone face-off here for Poshak. Sent out of the zone by Bill. You have a minute left on the Brendan Gruber penalty. 45 seconds left on the Eau Claire North penalty. .218 left in the game. Have a neutral zone face-off here for Poshak. Face-off lost back to Eau Claire. Taken in by Tillman. Hit. And looks like there'll be a cross-checking call on Brendan Poshak. Cal and Muttinger taking the face-off here. Face-off here for Muttinger. Muttinger wins it back to McEntee. McEntee sends out of the zone up to the point. Perfect. Over to Tillman. Tillman shoots, saved. Sent back up to the point for Thompson. Thompson shoots, saved by rebound, save, and covered by Roberts. At 1:49 left in the game, 4 seconds left on the Eau Claire North penalty, and 14 seconds left on the Brendan Gruber penalty. Got a face off here for Buttinger. Love Everhart do it instead. The point for Bucks. We have 3-on-5 for the next 6 seconds. Or excuse me, 3-on-5 for the next 25 seconds. A confusion with the puck, but sent out of the zone by Buttinger. 14 seconds left on the Travis Polko penalty before we get to 4-on-5. 1:15 left in the game. Taken out of the zone by Thorpe. And kicked out to Tillman. Or Sutter, excuse me. Now back to 4-on-5. Polka was out. Right up to the point. Shot blocked by Everhart and sent out of bounds. We have 59 seconds left in the game. We'll be on a 4-on-5 penalty kill for the rest of the game. You have Buttinger taking the face off. Picked up by Kazarek. Kazarek dumps it in. 50 seconds left. Eau Claire North looking to break it out. That could be in the. They're just about to pull the goalie, and he shoots, scores. As Eau Claire was pulling their goalie, they changed their minds to send him back, but it wasn't enough time, and Buttinger slipped it in. That'll make it 6-4 tonight with 40 seconds left in the game. Face off here for Coughlin. Coughlin dumps it in with 31 seconds left. Shot blocked. 18 seconds left. Up to the point for Feck. Sent back up to the point for Feck. Feck shoots, saved by Roberts. And the net came off. 6 seconds left of the game. Notre Dame up by 2 and looking like it's over here. Final face off here for Brennan Gruber. It's sent out of the zone. And that will do it. The come from behind win. The 3 straight goals. The win for Notre Dame Academy. Final shots for the game are 18 for the Tritons and 24 for the Huskies. Next game is tomorrow at the Resch Center against Hudson. 2 o'clock for JV, 4 o'clock for varsity. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Stick around. We'll have a post-game interview with Coach Corey McCracken in just a few moments. Here with Coach Corey McCracken of the Notre Dame Tritons. We're here with Coach Corey McCracken of the Notre Dame Tritons to do a short post-game interview. First question, how'd the game go tonight?
I thought we were good at times, and we got a hard Eau Claire North team that wanted to be direct and play behind us, and it caused our team to have a little bit of fits coming out of our D zone early in the game. But I thought the guys persevered and found a way to win a game here in the third period. So they showed some character.
Very good. And know we have tomorrow the number 2 ranked Hudson. What's your plan of attack against that strong team?
Well, we played Hudson a few times in the last couple of years. They're always good games. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tight checking, limited space game. So we've got to manage our pucks and we've got to be in a spot where we can win our battles and we get inside position on guys. And that's about as easy as it gets when you play a team like Hudson. There's no free space. You have to earn everything you get. And it's going to be a really good tell sign for us of where we're at in our season. And it's going to be a good opportunity to bounce back after an inconsistent night tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, son. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.